Hello, good morning, welcome to my channel. Hey, the other day the unthinkable happened to me. I was done my day of work, I was desperate for, a change of scenery. Wanted to go outside, grab my road bike, go for a ride, and then the unthinkable happened. See that? Well, that's a flat tire. Since it's already flat, it's gonna be really easy to remove from the bike. See, this opens up the brakes, which in this case, I wouldn't even need. Now I got a quick release skewer axle here. That's also really simple. So after taking off the wheel, I brought it to the picnic table. Much easier to sit there and undo this tire. See, I got two of these tire levers. You can get them at any bike shop. Probably find them online, and sometimes when you buy a patch kit, they come with it. Make sure they're plastic because the risk of piercing your inner tube is much less. Alright, I'll just start somewhere. I usually start across from the valve somewhere. This one should be easy to take off. See, I can clamp it like this so this stays in position. Then I go, say, about 4 inches next to it. See, the tire is unseated. Now, if I'm really careful, because there isn't a lot of tension on there, I'll just go all the way around. Some tires are much tighter, then this might not be so easy to do. You just work your way around it. You should always be able to get it off. Always. See, and now the thing that I do, I got the tire like this. I start at the top. I go with my fingers like this, and I just take the whole tire along with the tube right out of the rim. Now the valve, because it's in a smaller hole, is still stuck in there, but see, I got it all out, all together. Now, what I should have done, probably even while the tire was still on the bike, is inspect the outside of the tire. But since the tube is still in there in the same position that it was on the rim, I can do that now, and then I'll get a good idea. That's if I find something. I'll get a really good idea of where this leak might be coming from. So I go from the outside, just go all around the whole tire looking for something that's perforated it. I got something stuck here. I don't know what that is. It looks more like somebody's chewing gum, but yeah, there isn't anything sharp here, so I don't think that's the cause for my flat. And I find this is quite typical too. Right now, I do not find a puncture. So the next step then is I could mark where the valve is and the orientation of the tube as well. Because if I find a puncture in the inner tube, then I need to know where it came from. Because if I don't, then I'm running the risk of repeating the thing, Like I put a brand new or patched tube on there, and then 20 minutes into the ride my tire is flat, and I'm still wondering what caused it. So I need to find out right away. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna mark this just so I know the right position. Alright, you see this mark? That's a warning. Yeah, it says this tire size Sport 1000. My valve's right here. It's lined up with this, but I need to know what side it's on, so I just mark it here. This is the exact position of my valve, so I know exactly how the tube was inside. Now it's time to pump up the tire and see where it loses the air. See, I'm hoping it is something like a puncture that I can fix kind of right away so that I can go for a little ride, because I haven't ridden this bike in a couple of weeks or so, and right away I can see where it's this isn't good. I'm telling you, this isn't good, because I don't know if you can hear this, but yeah, it's right there. This tube was a used tube that I got from a community bike shop. A lot of times the tubes they sell, they are cheap. They're like a couple of bucks. Problem is, you never know how old they are. They could be 20 years old. Community bike shop receives bicycle donations. Often they're bikes that have been in somebody's garage for years because they were waiting for a repair that never happened. And then finally somebody decided, well, they're just taking up space. We need to donate them to the bike shop. So what happens there is somebody goes in and strips it for parts or rebuilds it, but all the tubes are coming from the bikes that get stripped. So this is where this tube came from. And well, you know, this is in a tiny hole in the rim, and over time there's some pressure on it. So today is the day that this tube gets retired. Not completely retired, because I have some ideas for it. See, my other bike, my touring bike, needs a new chainstay protector. These make great chainstay protectors. So yeah, I'm planning to show you how I do that as well. The plan was to show you how to patch a tire with this. Well, if you really want to know, I have another video on that. It's on the screen right about now. And for the moment, I leave you with this. See, being frugal is good most of the time. In this case, it kind of screwed me up for this morning because I can't go for my ride. At least I found out what the problem is. We go shopping later today. Hey, I invested money. I got 2 of these. Brand new inner tubes for my road bike. Now these were expensive. It says it's called bike non-invasive parts. So I hope my investment benefits someone somewhere, saves the planet, whatever. I hope it's not a scam. There's an interesting thing on this box here. Like, it's a fancy box. I mean, it looks beautiful. Cardboard, plain cardboard, but the design is so well done. Got the instructions on here. It says inspect the rim tape, blah blah blah, clean debris, everything that you're supposed to do. Number 2 says install one side of the tire onto the rim. That means this. Now, why wouldn't you put the tube in there first? I don't get it, but the way I prefer doing this is I put the tube in there first, and I'll show you how I do this. By the way, when you open up this box, take out the tube. The instructions are continued inside there. So this means you have to take the box completely apart, which when you find out that this is the wrong size or whatever might happen in life, I hope it doesn't happen to me, but these things happen, right? Because look, this tire size is ancient. It's 27. Mind you, it's actually marked on here. 27 by 1 1/4. This one is 27 by 1 1/4. Something else I wanted to point out here. Number 4, you're supposed to insert the tube into the tire while it's already halfway on the rim. Then push the valve stem through the hole and tighten the lock nut. Well, show me where that lock nut is. It's a bunch of BS. Who writes these instructions? Anyways, enough talking. I want to show you how I install a tire. It's pretty simple. I take the pump, attach it to the tube. This is probably the most important, most difficult thing you have to do. Yeah. Sometimes when it's on the bike, this lever is hard to get it in place, but you inflate it just so ever so little. I would say this is enough for the moment. Now we take the tire and see, we already have a mark here on this tire. There it says where the valve was. So it does make sense to line it up exactly the same way. And I put the tube completely inside there. Completely, all the way around. Now I take my rim, and now all these tires, they are the modern tires, they're all directional. I find for most bikes this makes no sense. I mean, we're not driving cars, we're not going 100 kilometers an hour. We might be going 25, 30, sometimes 50 if we're crazy enough, or fast, but not 100. So now I find my hole, see, and I just push the valve stem through there, and now my tire will go on so perfectly easy. I do like basically one side, make sure the tube is all the way in there, all the way around. See, that's already on. Now I pull on the valve stem, tighten the proverbial lock nut, the magic lock nut that's not even existing. And now I go all the way around, starting around the valve, because that'll make my life easier once I get like most way around the tire. And I could do this with my bare hands. I don't need a set of tire levers at this point. I might need it at the end. Sometimes they're pretty tight, but so far so good. Now it's kind of starting to wonder on me, you know, like for this last little push. See, this is about, I'd say that's about 8 or 10 inches of tire here. It's a little tight. So I'll go grab a tire lever. I'm back with the tire levers. Now I center it here. Poof, done. This is all it needs. Now, in order to seat this really well on the rim, see, there's a line that goes all around here on the tire. I kind of make sure that that is even all around. See, I got a little bit of an issue here where my valve is sitting, my valve stem. So I play with it just a little. Yeah, I just pull on it, wiggle it, whatever. What we got here is a sponge that I soaked with soapy dishwater. See, you can see the soap here, and I'm making sure that I got some all the way around the tire. Not gonna skimp on it because it needs to be between the tire and the rim. That's where I need it to be, because there it can actually do its job. This is not about cleaning the rim. You know, clean is always good. Almost out of water there, sponge. But now what I'm gonna do, put the pump on there and start pumping. I'm just gonna pump it as far as it'll go, working my triceps and my chest. Ugh. Okay, well, I'm happy to report that this time it worked. Let me show you. See, this line is evenly all the way around the tire. So this tire is installed on the rim, and it's installed correctly. Right now it's got 100 pounds on there, which is not what I want when I ride it. So I'm going to deflate this a little bit, but sometimes you can have a problem getting this on unless you go with this method. Put some soapy water all around both sides. Pump it up as hard as you can. 100 pounds is what it took. And then you readjust the pressure afterwards. You know the tire is on there correctly. I hope you give this video a thumbs up. I'll be putting this on my bike and I'll be out on the road.